The two most recent Mission Impossible movies, Dead Reckoning and The Final Reckoning, have received largely positive reviews, with the latter also becoming a hit at the box office. However, the seventh and eighth entries in the iconic spy series, which collectively tell the story of Ethan Hunt's battle against the malevolent artificial intelligence known as the Entity, are more divisive with the most dedicated fans of the franchise. While longtime Mission viewers have several critiques of the two-film arc, the most common and passionate objections are to Dead Reckoning's decision to kill off fan-favorite character Ilsa Faust, and, unfortunately, The Final Reckoning only further underlines what a crucial mistake this was. Introduced in 2015's Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, Ilsa is a former MI6 agent who meets Ethan while working undercover in the terrorist network called the Syndicate. The pair are obviously kindred spirits and quickly develop strong affection for one another, although the British government's callous manipulations of Ilsa frequently put them at cross purposes. In both Rogue Nation and the subsequent entry, Fallout, still in both films, Ilsa ultimately works alongside Ethan to defeat Syndicate leader Solomon Lane and his associates. After they do so in Fallout, Ethan also amicably separates from his wife, Julia Meade, with the obvious implication being that he and Ilsa were going to begin a romantic relationship. Ferguson's nuanced portrayal of the character added interesting new layers to the series, and the actress also brings a formidable physicality to the role that is at least comparable to Cruise's own. This makes Ilsa's role in the franchise's famously elaborate, death-defying action sequences as exciting as Ethan's. Her casting was instrumental in making the fifth and sixth films two of the most acclaimed action movies of the 21st century, hence why so many viewers find the decision to kill the character off so baffling. Ilsa dies defending a thief named Grace, who possesses half of a key instrumental to controlling the Entity, from the A's human assassin, Gabriel. In addition to being upset by it, however, many fans were also not convinced the death was genuine and expected the character to return in the subsequent film, based on various pieces of evidence from Dead Reckoning. Unfortunately, in an interview released after The Final Reckoning, co-writer and director Christopher McQuarrie explained that the filmmakers chose not to resurrect the character because they believe deaths should be permanent in the franchise to keep the stakes high. Prior comments from Ferguson herself revealed that the decision to end the character's story was at least partially hers, with the Swedish star noting that while she loves Ilsa and the franchise, she does not regret her departure, as the complicated productions of the Mission movies result in long intervals of time in which cast members are not able to take on other projects. Despite these justifications, Ilsa's death remains an unfortunate example of fridging, a problematic multimedia trend in which female characters are killed and slash or endure grievous harm to motivate male ones, and The Final Reckoning only further demonstrates this. Although Morales is largely convincing in the action sequences, the writing for Gabriel's character fails to make him as believably threatening an opponent for Ethan and company as past villains. This is an even more glaring issue in the new film, which mostly abandons the storyline, focusing on a mysterious, violent personal history between Gabriel and Ethan, which was the only major source of intrigue related to the character in Dead Reckoning. This makes the fact that Gabriel was allowed to kill as formidable a character as Ilsa even more frustrating. Ethan's story in The Final Reckoning also suffers due to Ilsa's absence. The point of Ethan's protective friendship with Grace in Dead Reckoning was to show that Gabriel's assertion that Ethan manipulatively uses the teammates, and especially women as life for his own ends, and views them as disposable is wrong. However, his dynamic with Grace becomes much more romantically coded in The Final Reckoning, which is uncomfortable to watch given that the film only takes place 2 months after Dead Reckoning and Ilsa's death, with the latter film instead making Gabriel's assessment seem disturbingly accurate.